you drinkers across America, following me, your host, Ron Ratcatcher Antonori, as I come back at you with another episode of Drinking Across America. And this episode, I am in beautiful, historic downtown Mobile, Alabama. Man, it is a beautiful summer day down here in lower Alabama, and I am at my favorite beer garden in Mobile, my favorite drinking spot, period, in Mobile. And that is the LoDa Biergarten on lower Dauphine Street in downtown Mobile. And I am here. They are the home of 102 different draft beers. That's right, people. They have over 100 draft beers, several bottles and cans for you bottle lovers out there. I am drinking a flight they have on Sundays, man. It is flights for $14.50. You get 4 4-ounce pours of your favorite beers. I decided to take a little trip around America, and the first brewery I'm stopping at, it is the Goodwood Brewing Company out of Louisville, Kentucky. And this is their Louisville Lager, and we're gonna put some wood on it, so to speak. You know, Louisville, Kentucky, it is known for the Kentucky Derby. It is also known for the Louisville Slugger, and that's where they get the Louisville Lager, put some wood on it. This is Goodwood Louisville Lager is the first and only brewed beer with 100% Kentucky grown grains. So they use local grains. And in a tip of the cap to our slugger making neighbors downtown, white ash, common in baseball bats, is used to enhance the brewing and the flavor and the essence of the beer as well. This results in a light-bodied, perfectly balanced lager with a sweet finish delivered by those Kentucky grains. Comes in at a pretty low 4.2% ABV, only 23 IBUs. On the tongue, you've got a little cool, wintry freshness, sassy grassiness, and a crisp, malty goodness, okay? They use the white ash, and it should be served in a pint glass unless you're doing a flight, or if you're outside at the lake, river, wherever, it can, you know, the solo cup is a great substitution. But we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. You know, I like my little light beers on these nice warm days like this, man. We're pushing 90 degrees down here in Alabama. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Louisville Lager a shot. It is a very clean, very refreshing beer. As you can see by the light notes of it, the light color, very light. I mean, it's effervescent, man. I mean, you can see me through it. That's how clear it is. It is a light lager. Like I said, coming in at 4.2% ABV. It's right along the lines of your Bud Lights, Miller Lights, Coors Lights, your Mick Ultras. So if you or any of your friends out there haven't tried the craft beers yet, and you like the Big Four, you like your light beers, I highly suggest Goodwood Brewing Company out of Louisville, Kentucky's Louisville Lager. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my lager and get on down. I've got 3 more to go on this flight of 4 coming at you from Mobile, Alabama at LoDa Biergarten. That's a good, light, crisp beer. Stay tuned for the next of 4. All right, all my drinkers across America following me as I am doing another episode from down here in Mobile, Alabama. The second beer I'm going to try on my flight of 4 this afternoon is coming at us from Braided River Brewing right here in Mobile, Alabama. So I am drinking a local beer. You see how light it is. You know I'm drinking another one of those light ones. This is the Beer Here Now Kolsch style, coming in at a real low 4.4% ABV, 132 IBUs. It is a German style ale, big on classic malt and hop character, and low on carbs and calories. Crisp, clean, and easy drinking. This is the anytime, anyplace beer of Alabama. So let go, surrender to the moment, and beer here now. So I'm gonna go ahead and drink some beer here now, literally and figuratively. Go ahead and give it a little try. You can smell a little bit of the hoppiness, a little bit of the malt. Another very clean, very crisp beer, perfect for these hot summer afternoons down here in Lower Alabama. Like I said, I am on location in Mobile, Alabama at the LoDa Biergarten, right here on Lower Dauphine Street. If you've never been, you don't know what you're missing out on. When you're ever down here on the Alabama Gulf Coast and you're in the Mobile area, you definitely want to check this place out. Over 100 draft beers. They got your bottles, your cans, they got your favorite pub food as well. They're the home of the giant Dino Burger, which I don't think I'm going to be able to try it, but you know, if you think you're man enough to eat the Dino Burger, it is a huge burger loaded with like everything, man. Cheese, bacon, jalapenos, you know, and more. But, you know, this Kolsch, it'd be something great to wash that Dino Burger down with. Like I said, perfect beer for a nice warm afternoon just like this. I do give it 2 pints up. I would definitely recommend it. It is a local beer from right here in Mobile, Alabama. At the Braided River Brewing Company. So I'm gonna finish out this one. And I suggest you finish out your beers as well. We'll be right back after this.
I got my wiener whacked at the Whacked Out Wiener in Mobile, and so should you. The best wieners in town, hands down.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Drinking Across America with me, your host, Ron Ratcatcher Antonori, as I'm coming at you from downtown Mobile, Alabama this episode. And I am on a flight of 4 at the LoDa Biergarten in beautiful, historic downtown Mobile. And the next beer on my flight of 4 is coming at you from the Dixie Brewing Company. Yeah, one of my favorite brewing companies and one of my favorite cities. And actually, I just did a local beer to here in Mobile, the Braided River Brewing Company. Well, now I'm doing a beer from a brewery in the so-called sister city of Mobile. That's right, my favorite city in all of America. The Big Easy itself, Nawlins, New Orleans, Louisiana, or as we like to call it down here in the South, Nawlins. It is the Dixie Brewing Company, my bad, out of New Orleans, Louisiana's Crimson Voodoo Raspberry White Ale. That's right, man, that's a hell of a name right there to try to remember. That's a lot of words to remember, so I just call it the Crimson Voodoo Raspberry. And it is a wheat beer, or a wit beer, as they call it over in Germany. So they are normally a little bit hazy. You can see it does have that nice crimson red tint to it because of the raspberries in it. That comes in, at 5.2% ABV. So as you see, we are climbing up the ABV as we go on, which is how I like to do it. You know, start low and work your way up high. So I'm at 5.5%, about 5.2% ABV and 156 IBUs. So you can tell it's getting a little bit sweeter, a little bit tartar. This is, as I said, it is a wheat beer, a wit beer with the raspberries. It's razzy and refreshing. This fruited wheat ale uses tart, fresh raspberries and a clean hop profile to balance the sweet and spicy orange peel. I don't know about orange. I guess it is a little bit of orange, maybe some coriander with it. Yep, and coriander aromas, there you go, which is normal in your wheat or wit beers. So don't be afraid of the pink hue. That's just the raspberries. It will bring you good luck if you dare to practice Crimson Voodoo, so they speak. So as I said earlier, you can smell it's got a great raspberry aroma to it. So I'm expecting a very good, very tart raspberry kind of a flavor to it as well. It does have that tartness that will overtake the palate. It's not too heavy though. The raspberry hits you, you get that little tartness from the raspberry. Kind of lingers around right there on the back of your palate. Very good beer, man, very good. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it comes from one of my favorite breweries out of New Orleans, Dixie Brewing Company. My favorite beer out of them, from them up until now, was their blackened Voodoo Lager, which was a very black, almost a Guinness colored blackened lager. Very smooth, very refreshing as well. I think it came in at around a 6.5% ABV, if I can remember correctly. It has been a little while since I have tried that beer, but this one right here is one of their sister beers from their brewery. Very good beer for one of these hot summer afternoons down here in Mobile, Alabama. If you're out on the water, out in the bay fishing, enjoying the activities on your favorite river, lake, poolside. Like I said, out here in the bay. If you cross on down, probably about 45 minutes or so down the road, down in I-10, you'll end up in Pensacola. Great beaches in Pensacola. You're probably about 40-45 minutes away from Orange Beach and Gulf Shores, home of the world famous Flora-Bama nightclub. And so if you've never been, you definitely want to check it out. You know, it's all within, like I said, within 45 minutes to an hour drive of right here in Mobile, Alabama. Great place to come and visit. Great people, great atmosphere, and much like New Orleans, you can walk around with your beverages as long as they're in a plastic container. That's right, people. You can walk around anywhere downtown, anywhere in Mobile with your beer, wine, mixed drink, whatever. As long as you've got it in a plastic cup, it's completely legal. So, you know, once I'm done reviewing and eating, I'm probably going to get me a beer to go before I head on down to my next location. And I'm not sure where that's going to be yet, because I'm not ready to leave LoDa Biergarten right here in Mobile, Alabama. I got to finish my raspberry, my Crimson Voodoo Raspberry White Ale. And then I've got one last beer to try on this flight of 4. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to be right back after this. That's some good beer for a hot day. All right, everyone, I am back at you for my 4th and final beer of the flight this afternoon, coming at you from LoDa Biergarten in beautiful lower Dauphine Street in historic Mobile, Alabama. And the 4th and final, they say you save the best for last, but I don't know about that, because I'm not a big fan of IPAs to begin with. And this one right here is an Imperial IPA. But as you can see by looking at it, it's got a nice, clear, crisp color to it, even though it is a hazy IPA. This is coming at us from Ghost Train Brewing Company, from my friends and yours up in Birmingham, Alabama. And this is their Passion Fruit Daze Imperial IPA. Comes in at a pretty staggering 8.2% ABV and a whopping 250 IBUs. So I'm expecting it to be extremely hoppy, which you can definitely smell. Yes, it's got that little bit of a passion fruit to it, but you can definitely tell that it is a hazy Imperial IPA. Very hop-centric scent to it. Well, let's give it the old college go and give it the old taste test. That's the only way we can realize whether or not we like all these beers. That is hoppy. That is extremely hoppy right there. Wow. And the hops just grow on you as it sits. I mean, there's a little bit of passion fruit that I taste in it, but it is extremely hoppy. What I expect, man, it's an Imperial IPA. This was picked out for me actually from my server because they didn't have the first two IPAs that I wanted to try. So she picked this one out for me because she saw that I had picked some of the more grapefruit citrus eccentric IPAs, which are what I like. Because if you're out there, you know, drinking across America, you know me, you've been following me for a while. I am not an IPA drinker. I don't want to taste like I'm biting into a pine cone when I'm drinking my favorite beer. So I don't like the pine coney taste. This is very pine coney. Of course, I knew it would be. Imperial, 8.2% ABV. ABV, 250 IBUs. Oh man, and it lives up to its name, let me tell you. It's a passion fruit daze. It's got a little bit of that passion fruit, and I'm sure it'll leave you in a daze if you drank too many of these. That's why I like to stick to my flights, man. Flights over pints. I get to sample all these great beers. Some are great, some are good, some are mediocre, some aren't so good. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion each and every episode of Drinking Across America. There's drinking going on across America. You can be guaranteed to find me, your host, Ron, Ratcatcher Antonori, bringing you the best and maybe sometimes the worst in drinking across America. So until next time, everybody out there, stay safe, because I want you to continue following me on my journey as I go all across America.